Alright, so it's the next day. I'm getting a little bit later of a start than I wanted. In fact, the sun's almost about ready to go down. But gotta get this done. So I'm gonna be pulling stuff out of the van, going through it, kind of seeing what I have, because I kind of loaded it in a hurry last night. Didn't really get to see much of it, didn't get to really price it. So as I'm doing that, you'll get an idea of what it is that we pulled out of all the piles. So with that being said, let's get started. First I have a cot, old army type cot. Not sure what I'm going to price that for. I actually did get to set that up, and it's actually in relatively good shape except for a few stains on it. I found this thing. This thing's very interesting. Don't even know that it's all part of one piece. Either way, I know cast iron's collectible. Found this thing stashed away. I'm guessing it's some kind of lampshade or decoration piece. Very Art Deco-y. Not really old and antique, but a nice roasting pan. We did find a couple of these though, and if any of you recognize these are actually commercial syrup holders or salad dressing holders. And from my experience, anything commercial restaurant actually sells pretty good. Nice old thermos. Other than that handle, it seems like it's in pretty good shape. Some miscellaneous chicken teapot. Someone that likes chickens will like that. And as you'll see as I'm going through this, there's actually a lot of chicken stuff. I'm guessing the previous owners of this house collected chickens. I really like these. These are actually, not sure if you can see those very well. This is a G.I. Joe thermos. Let's see if it's got a date on it. 1986. And then this is something called Team 85. Haven't heard about them, but I'll look into it. Either way, those are pretty nice old collectible thermoses. And then the box itself, American National Foods Incorporated. Nice old wooden box. I know a lot of people are into those. This I'm excited about. No, it's not cherries. It's actually an entire box full of Lincoln Logs. And these aren't the new ones. These are actually really old collectible Lincoln Logs. I actually have to do a little bit of research and find out what those are worth. Because I'm not sure if this whole box is worth $10 or maybe even a little bit more. Old jug. That's ceramic. This is the kind of stuff I really enjoy. It's kind of what I would call a primitive piece. Kind of dented and rusty. And not the prettiest, but to me it's beautiful. Wood handle and everything. Definitely gonna be excited to get that. Old mirror. Almost looks like maybe it was off a bus. A lot of the stuff that we pulled out is actually Christmas stuff. Might not be very old, but being that it's almost Christmas time, perfect time to be selling this. Honestly, not sure exactly how old this is, and it's really hard to tell because it seems to be hand-built, but it's an old baby rocking bassinet, or baby doll more likely. This is actually a ruler that you would stick down in like an oil tank to see how much fuel you had left. It's still got all the numbers labeled on it. You can tell they're worn off a lot more down here, most likely because that's where the oil level was. But it's actually got a brand name on it, Cutler Tank. Again, Christmas stuff. We have actually a fairly large set of this. They're made in China, so not worth a whole lot. But we've also got 2 complete 18-piece sets that match. This is pretty nice. It's a old washboard, Ward's Standard, looks like. And somewhere in there we actually have another one that kind of matches it, but it's a smaller size. These are handmade stilts. Not sure if they're worth a whole lot, but they're kind of old and kind of cool. I grew up with a pair kind of like this, and I put lots of enjoyment out of them, so I think someone will enjoy those a lot. Even if it's just $5, that's still something. Kind of an interesting thing, I think I'm going to sell it as a set. It's a Richard Simmons, I'm sure you all remember him, Fat Zapping Grill, kind of like the George Foreman grill. It's actually, I don't know that it's ever been used. It's still in plastic, even though the box is in not very good of shape. So not only is that a nice grill, but it's got kind of the cool aspect of being, let's see if there's a date on here, 1998. And we all remember the Richard Simmons era. But not only do we have that grill, but we also have a Richard Simmons Deal-A-Meal set, complete with card and video, and I think together those two things are going to be a nice set that some collector of 90s memorabilia will really enjoy. Nice set. Doesn't have a date on it that I can see, not real old, but they're still pretty cool. We got the Goofy, Donald, Mickey. They're a collector set of Disney glasses. They seem to be brand new also. And I actually got this from the house. I already had one almost just like it, but it never hurts to have a second dolly. This I'm actually going to be using to haul the stuff in and out of the flea market. This is another one of those things I'm going to have to test and see if it works, as well as look up to see what kind of value it has. But it is a model train set. But it's got an engine, it's got quite a few cars, and then it's got a whole box full of track. But unless when I look up and find something else, I'd say I'm probably going to get about $20 for that box worth of trains. Another one of the old oil cans. Neither one of them has a lid, but kind of as a nice matched set. Both of them wooden handles. Probably $5 a piece for those, maybe even $10 a piece for those, depending on how the day goes. Here's the other 18-piece dinnerware Christmas set. 10, I don't remember what was inside here. Oh, a bunch of Legos and little kids' toys. Maybe $5 for all the toys in there. A lot of this stuff is going to be in boxes, so I'm not going to take the time to unpack all of it. A couple baseballs, probably $1 or $2 each. Definitely very old. This was kind of a nice piece, but it's an old ice crusher. You would put ice in there, and it would actually suction down to your table, and you could break the ice up to get crushed ice. Nice pressure cooker. Not sure what these go for, but I know they're not real cheap. Probably $20. If I don't sell that, I might actually end up keeping it myself so I can start canning. I've been meaning to do that. This is actually a commercial type coffee pot. It's got the plug, percolating type coffee pot. Probably $5 on that thing. If any of you have been in the collector's market very long, you know exactly what these are. But for those of you that don't, these are the insulators off of old power poles. Unfortunately, a couple of them are broken. Probably going to get a couple bucks a piece out of those. So that's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. That's almost 15 bucks right there. This box, we've got, they're VHSs, but they're complete sets. This is Twilight Zone. This is a 5 cassette John Wayne set. I actually looked that up on eBay, took a quick chance to do that, and they sell for 20 to 30 bucks for the set. Old Samsonite case, almost like a makeup case. It's got the mirror and everything in it. Maybe $5. This is a Christmas tree. Not the kind you think of, though. It's actually a ceramic Christmas tree. But it does have a stand and a light to make it light up. But like I said, being that it's Christmas time, someone would love a vintage old Christmas tree. It's broken, yes. But does that make it worth less? Maybe a little bit. But someone is going to want this put on their porch as a decoration. I think I'm probably going to put $20 on that because it's old, it's cute. If someone wants to talk me down, they can. These I'm pretty excited about. But it's got the leather strap, perfect for decorating if you're going for the old Western theme. Hoping to get probably close to 40 bucks for that set. Found this in the barn. Not sure if anyone's going to want it, but a lot of people nowadays are hanging street signs on their wall. Probably put a $10 price tag on it. This is a Wagner's Dutch oven. I wish it had the lid. It would make it worth a whole lot more. But even as it is, I'm sure I can get probably $8, $10. A little lace doily. Very old. My daughter Susie again. She's been helping run the camera, but we've got it going on a tripod right now, so... old aluminum cup and metal pitcher. Unfortunately, again, no lid, but that's definitely something someone would want to hang in their shop as decoration. Tonka truck, everyone loves those. Probably 10, 15, maybe, it's not real old, maybe up to $20. Old radio. I actually plugged this in and tested it. It kind of works. It's a little bit sketchy, the volume. Probably 20 bucks on that. I'm going to bring this up so you can see it a little better. It's an old level. It's very heavy, very well built. All the bubbles work. It has glass and water in all of them in surprisingly good shape. I'm not sure exactly how old that is, but I know it's very old. Made in USA. It's actually a Stanley, number 37. I might look that one up, but probably 10 bucks. If I don't sell it for that, I'll probably keep it. I love antique tools. This is kind of cool. It's just an old medicine cabinet. It's actually hanging on one of the walls. Nothing real special about it, except that my guess is that it came out of a house from around the turn of the century. Just got one glass shelf inside. But if someone is restoring a house, trying to make it look cute and vintage, they would love to have that. Looking somewhere around probably the $20, $25 on that guy. 25 years ago, this would have been garbage. But today, people love burlap sacks. It's not just one, but it's a sack full of old potato sacks. There's probably at least 10 sacks in there, and if I can get $3 or $4 a piece, that's 30 bucks, 30, 40 bucks. This is a very interesting piece. It's actually called a tomato tamer. So my guess is that it's made specifically for slicing tomatoes. From what I found from some of the records, the people that own this house actually ran a restaurant at one point, and so I think this was some of their equipment. Unfortunately, not a whole lot of it left, but I guess if you're slicing tomatoes for hamburgers, this thing would be perfect. As I've said before, commercial restaurant equipment is huge right now because everyone's wanting to start a restaurant. So someone's going to give me, I'm going to say 30, 40 bucks for this. Gonna go around the side and pull some stuff out of there. Alright, so we got a Babar. Not a lot of collectible value there. But this one, on the other hand, definitely has some collectible value. Old Minnie Mouse. Little metal iron. These things actually are quite a bit. I'm going to say probably $15 for that little iron. Oh, here is the miniature washboard I was telling you about. So I will sell that as a set with the other one. They're both right around the same era, and sets tend to sell better. So for the set of them, I'm thinking probably $40. Old doll. Kind of looks like Raggedy Ann. I'm not sure if it was a rip-off version or maybe a really early version. It's got a little bit of damage, but not enough to make it not collectible. I'm going to probably put $5 on him. Speaking of Raggedy Ann, as Susie said, Raggedy Ann and Andy wall hangers. They're dated 1977. Very nice set. Can't notice any damage on them. They're kind of a plastic. For the set of those, I'm probably going to be somewhere around the mark of $30. We got a set of grapes. They're not glass, unfortunately. They're just plastic. But I'm still going to say probably $8, $10 for the set of them. Old C-clamp. But I'm going to say probably $5 for it. Cool old toy car. Gotta be from the 50s. It's 50 model car, early 50s, like a 52. It's kind of a weird rubbery plastic. It's not in the best of shape, but it's made in the USA, and I don't think that's going to sell for less than $5. And then, not sure if you can see this hiding down there in the camera, but it's an old toy baby carriage. But I'm going to say that this thing is probably going to not sell for a whole lot because they're pretty common, but it's going to bring a lot of people over to the table of a nice display piece. But I'll still probably get $30 or $40 for it. Showing you some primitive stuff earlier. That's kind of the stuff that I really like. The stuff that's old and dirty. Obviously I'll brush the cobwebs off it, but I'm not going to clean it up much more than that. Old oil filler can. Hopefully I can get probably $8, but it'll be a good set with the other oil cans. Pitchfork handle, probably a couple dollars. It's just rusty enough to be a good collector's age. And a pick head. Doesn't have a handle, but again, old, collectible, rusty, beautiful. This thing I really like. Just an old jerry can, but the word gas on there that was hand painted so long ago though that it's worn off to the point you can hardly read it, just gives it that old charm. It's actually fairly clean inside. I was able to open it. It would just take a few ball bearings to get that cleaned up the rest of the way. Looks like it says actually GMC on it. But I'll probably put $20 on that just because it's so cute. So collectible. Another one of these glass insulators, electric insulators. Another Christmas thing, probably just a couple dollars on that, not real old. This thing though, it's an old mirror. In amazingly good shape. Just the right amount of patina on it. The paint is all cracked. See if you can see that a little closer. Got that beautiful cracked, weathered look. The mirror has got a little bit of separation from it. If I was going to restore an old vintage Victorian house, I would pay a lot of money for one of these. To get that old original look. The fact that the glass is unbroken is amazing. I wouldn't be surprised if I get $50 out of it. Another old wooden crate, Farland brand sugar corn. So old vegetable crate. Inside it though, all kinds of cool stuff. I have an old Penske brand timing light. I'd probably get $10 for it at least. It's even got the tag on it. Penske power timing light, high voltage flash tube. Some old jars. Probably only $1 each, but still very nice collectible pieces with the metal lids on them. Some old doorknobs. And then this thing. This thing is just beautiful to me. It's very old. It's a fire sprinkler. The house itself actually has a few of these installed in the ceiling. This one was out in the garage, not installed though, but it's actually still full of liquid. I'm not sure if it's just water or some kind of fire retardant, but it's got some metal, looks like maybe like a aluminum, something very soft that when it gets warm enough that would break, opening the spring and letting the water out. A completely independent, non-plumbed in fire alarm or fire suppression system. It's made by company Grimes. The little piece of metal says 165 degrees. I'm guessing that's its melting point. If that sells really well, I'll probably actually be taking the ones out of the house and selling them also. And then just a couple more things that aren't in boxes. These got me pretty excited because I know people love these. An old double-handed saw blade. This is right about 6 feet long. Someone spray painted the one side, not sure why, but it would be perfect for putting a painting on it, hanging on a wall, hanging in any type of woodworking shop, and obviously that paint can be stripped off. I see these go for somewhere around $40, $50 all the time, so not worried about getting that sold. And then there's actually another one. This one actually looks like it was used a lot more recently. It doesn't have the paint. What makes this one a little bit unique is instead of the original wood handle, someone actually bent their own metal handle to change this from a two-person saw into a one-person giant hand saw. Very unique, original type of saw. Again, someone could use it to paint on it. I would probably get another $50 out of that guy. So as you can see, I still have quite a few boxes, maybe almost 20 boxes left, and all of them are completely full of various stuff. So that's kind of a rundown. I'm gonna get some price tags on all this stuff, get it put back in the van in a more logical, secure way so I can get it unloaded at the flea market tomorrow. Anyways, that's all I've got today, so I am signing off. Alright, we're at the flea market. It's the day of the sale. I don't have much time because they're opening the doors soon, but I wanted to give you a quick view of some of the stuff that was in the boxes that we got set on the table. We have a lot more still in boxes waiting to be unpacked, but this is just a sample of it. You can see lots of toys, glassware, miscellaneous antiques, all kinds of stuff. Some of this you saw yesterday, some of it you didn't. So just a quick wrap up before I end this video. First, I wanted to apologize for anyone who'd watched my last video and has been waiting for this one. I know it took a little bit longer to get this out than I originally had thought. The holidays and everything made this be a very busy month, so I just now finally got around to getting it edited and getting it published. I also wanted to thank anyone that stuck around through this whole video till the end. I know it was a little bit long, but I had a lot of stuff I wanted to show you. I also wanted to touch on how the flea market went, since it was a couple weeks ago. It didn't go quite as good as I thought that it would, but it was a great learning experience. I did learn a lot of lessons, sold a few things enough to make expenses, but not a whole lot more. Ended up actually bringing most of the stuff home, and some of it, especially a lot of the Christmas stuff, I ended up selling on eBay and made quite a bit on those, so I'm not too disappointed. What you saw at the flea market that we had is probably only about a quarter of the actual antiques that are in that house, so we've got lots of stuff for the spring flea market season that's coming up that we still can sell. But we just got to go through it, figure out what's what, sell some of it on eBay, but until then we've got a lot of stuff ahead of us to get done. That's about all I have to say for now, so until the next video, I am signing off.